Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now, I have really been taking some time to just be introspective and to really sit with myself and reflect on the years of my life that I have lived. And because this is the last year of me being a so-called teen, technically, I've just been taking a lot of time to just reflect and look back on my life, and something that I've really been noticing like these past couple of weeks is that a lot of my days are spent really scrolling on TikTok, watching YouTube, just distracting myself and not being very present, which is something that if you've been watching me for a very long time, I used to talk about a lot, which was being very, present with everything that you do, regardless of what you do. So, that can be being very present with your workouts, that can be being present with brushing your teeth and not having music on, being present with the work that you're working on and not having background music on for the day. But I feel like in the world that we live in now, there is nothing but non-presentness, if that's even a word. Not being present is honestly very, very, very acceptable nowadays. We're always listening to music, we're always on our phone, we're at the dinner table on our phone, we're eating and watching YouTube. People don't really sit at the dinner table anymore and actually have a conversation with their family. Nowadays, what we tend to do is sit down, watch YouTube, spend time alone. We might even take our foods to our room and just watch YouTube by ourselves instead of, at least incorporating the family while watching YouTube. Instead of that, we just decide that, oh, hey, I just want to be alone and I'm just going to sit there and watch YouTube by myself and eat my dinner by myself. But with that being said, a lot of the things that we do requires us to be present, but I feel like nowadays, because we spend so much time on our phones, we spend so much time scrolling on TikTok, there's Instagram reels now, and if you're on YouTube, you're also not away from this short form content because YouTube decided to implement YouTube shorts. So you also have stimulation from, oh, hey, I'm just going to keep YouTube on my phone. You might end up scrolling on YouTube shorts, because I know I've done this myself. I've deleted TikTok, I've deleted Instagram at one point, and now I'm all of a sudden on YouTube shorts, scrolling YouTube shorts, and I'm just watching these random ring camera videos popping up and these random videos of, people giving thousands of dollars away to the homeless. And these videos might not even be real. Not to say all those videos aren't real, but you know what I mean. A lot of the content that we watch nowadays are strictly made and performed so we can watch the whole thing, and so it's highly addictive to us and it holds our attention. And attention is something that is honestly more valuable than money nowadays. Let's be honest, because in order for you to actually make money nowadays, one of the best things that you can do is hold a person's attention. And if you can't hold a person's attention, then chances are you can't make a lot of money, especially if we're talking about the entrepreneurial world of creating content. If you're making any type of content, chances are that one of the most valuable things is attention. And even if you don't create content at all, your attention is constantly being seeked out by advertisements, your attention being seeked out by content that you watch, your attention is being seeked out by billboards on the highway. I mean, everything is fighting for your attention, and where your attention goes, that is where your energy flows. As a man, as a woman, you need to be fighting for your attention at all times because it is so valuable. If you're constantly giving your attention towards things that aren't growing you, or you're constantly giving your attention towards other people's lives, let's say on YouTube, or if you're constantly keeping up with people on TikTok, always keeping yourself very stimulated, chances are you probably have no type of creative ideas. You probably have no sort of sense of direction. And I'm not talking like, oh, I'm going to work every single day, so that's my sense of direction. I mean, like, what is your true purpose? I feel like we never really have any time to figure that out anymore because we're constantly stimulating ourselves with everything around us. I mean, when we wake up, first thing we do is check our phone and see if we got a notification from Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Did somebody message me? Did someone message my phone? Did someone follow me? Did someone like this post? But you really have to sit there and think like, are these things actually bringing any value into my life? And I feel like the more that I look into the past years of my life, I've realized that, damn, a lot of the time that I spent scrolling on TikTok, a lot of the time that I spent watching YouTube videos, and even watching YouTube can become a problem because I know a lot of people, what they do is they will watch YouTube videos and they will watch these videos on how to be productive, or they'll watch these videos on how to change your life. And then next thing you know it, you're on your 10th video for the day. And it's like at that point, you're not doing anything but procrastinating what you truly know you should be doing, because that's another thing. I feel like we all truly know what we should be doing, right? A lot of the times we just don't do said thing. Like, for an example, I know I should be recording a YouTube video every single week, but instead I'm procrastinating by watching TikTok and YouTube, and I'm spending the time that I could be recording a video, and the excuse of not having the time to edit, or the excuse of not wanting to edit my YouTube video is present. And I'm sure you have your own excuses, and a lot of the times they really are only excuses simply because we don't allocate our time correctly towards the things that we really truly want to do, which is our purpose. And that creative thing you said you was going to do at the start of this year, chances are you've probably already stopped doing said thing. Or if you set a goal out this year, I'm sure by now you probably have stopped doing that thing. And if not, that's great, continue going. But the point is, I really feel like we need to allocate where our dopamine is being used, because a lot of the times it's not that you feel unmotivated to create that video. It's not that you feel unmotivated to go to the gym. Chances are you have other options that are taking your dopamine and other high stimulating activities that is going to give you a higher sense of pleasure, because our pleasure system is ran off of serotonin and dopamine. And that dopamine that you get from watching TikTok and scrolling the entire time, because trust me, TikTok takes away a lot of your dopamine. It uses a lot of dopamine when you're watching TikTok, because of the fact that it's very highly stimulating, and it's the novelty of not knowing what's the next video that's going to show up on your For You page. So it's trapping you into scrolling, and that applies for any short form content. The content is at a all-time low when it comes to the duration of the things that we watch. One of the things that we need to do is get rid of these distractions. You need to find out a way to limit your screen time on your iPhone. That can be done through iPhone's activity page in the settings. I believe you can go in and set a screen time limit. That's something that worked for me. If you want to go a little bit farther and you want to take it up a notch, you can download apps that temporarily block your screen time usage. There's some apps out there that will block your screen time usage, and it won't allow you to get on any of the apps that you block. Look up something called a brick. This is not sponsored at all, but this has really been changing my life. The more I use it, and as long as I strictly stay using the brick device, what it does basically is it's a little brick device that you can put on any magnetic surface. I choose to put mine on my refrigerator, but you can simply put it in your closet. You can put it in a drawer somewhere where it's not easily accessible if the refrigerator simply is too accessible. And basically what you'll do is you can lock your phone and the apps that you blocked in the app from being used when you're bricked. So you can hold down in the app to brick your device, or you can simply tap the brick device and it will set up that locking feature on the apps that you don't want yourself to be distracted by. And I do have a discount code. Okay, I just had to jump in here and intervene really quickly. It's not a discount code. If you just click the link down below, you'll automatically get 10% off of any brick device. It stacks, so if you want to purchase multiple for a loved one, or if you want to have multiple for yourself, feel free to do so. It is not required though, and you may continue to watch this video without buying absolutely anything, because this video idea came off of the top of my head and I just wanted to share it with you guys. But anyways, let's get back to the video. But it's definitely a device that has helped me stay off my phone more, and it has helped me become more productive, and that will really help you become a more bored person, because that's another thing that I feel like we don't have enough of, and that's boredom. And honestly, the more I think about it, it really brings me back to memories of not having a phone when I was a child, or when you get your first phone and you don't really have any social media apps or anything like that, and you might have a couple of games on your phone when you first got your first phone. And back then, I wasn't on my phone. There was no TikTok, there was no high stimulating content like that. If you can think back to when you were a kid and you didn't have a phone and you were playing outside, the ideas just flowed. I remember having so much inspiration in life, from life, not from other people on the internet, not from these outside sources giving me ideas, and having to ask AI, hey AI, what's some content I should be making this week? And a lot of people find this to be very useful. It's like, oh, AI is very useful for helping you plan content. It's useful for helping you come up with ideas. But if you really think about it, it's really taken away the fact of having to use our brains to develop ideas and to develop these inventions, because some of the greatest inventions didn't come from people using AI. It came from them doing the research. It came from them being bored and having that shower thought. When you're in the shower and you get that crazy idea, that's from you being bored. That's from you not having any stimulation. And that's another thing nowadays, including myself. We play music while we're in the shower. We don't even have any moment of silence at all. And I'm including myself because it's something I do. I love listening to music in the shower, but we have to realize is that's more stimulation that we're giving our brain, and it's not allowing us any time for ourselves to think, to come up with ideas, to be bored, because some of the greatest ideas that come up in life comes from being bored. I mean, I have never really came up with a great idea from strictly sitting down and scrolling on TikTok. I genuinely don't think I have. And a lot of the times, if I do get an idea while consuming content, chances are it's not really an original idea. Not to say, you know, ideas are original nowadays, because chances are people have done the exact thing that you're thinking about doing. But what makes it unique is your own twist on it. It's about how you do it. And a lot of the times, the ideas I get from social media aren't, you know, set in stone, made up from my own mind. They're typically like something I bounced off of from said video that I'm watching, which isn't a terrible thing. But some of the greatest ideas that you get, like I said, come from your mind. It comes from your own mind. It doesn't come from these outside sources, these outside thoughts. When the first ever invention of a car came to be, it wasn't because, this person got this idea from AI, or it wasn't because this person heard about someone else building a car already. They thought about, how can I make transportation more efficient, and they started getting to work, and they had many prototypes, and there's things that they changed, and I'm sure they had a lot of boredom, downtime, and just time to be bored and sit in their thoughts. I hope this video was helpful. Definitely look into limiting your screen time. Definitely look into not being on your phone so much. Like I said, I'll have the link down below to the brick device. Definitely not sponsored, but I just wanted to bring up this topic because, the brick device is something that's really been changing my life. And also, before I even had this thing, I was using the screen time, but screen time is really easy to bypass. That's why I really recommend downloading some sort of app. There's a lot of great apps on the App Store, Google Play Store, but this is the one that I'm currently using. And it's just to take back control of your time. Chances are, like I said, it's not that you're not disciplined, it's the fact that you have something that's so easy to access that gives your brain so much dopamine and, these feel good chemicals that you don't even want to do what's actually good for you long term, because that thing requires delayed gratification, because that instant gratification is so easily accessible. But if you make that instant gratification harder to access, chances are you'll get bored enough to where, you'll actually have that motivation. And over time, if you're not on your device so much and you have more control over your time, because these apps, all this information that's being posted online is taking your time, it's taking your attention. Slowly but surely, go look at your screen time. 8 hours every single day on TikTok. Insane. You know how much you can get done in 8 hours? You can get a lot done in 8 hours. If you were to wake up early, you can do a hell of a lot in 8 hours. I promise you. That's so much time you can be putting into something that can actually change your life or to move your life forward in the direction that you want to go. But yes, focus on delayed gratification, focus on taking your attention back into your own hands, because that is so, 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 so powerful nowadays. And remember, being disciplined is very attractive. If you're a disciplined person, then you are an attractive person, not only to other people, but just to yourself. Like, it feels very good to actually get the shit done that you said you were going to get done. Even to yourself, I know I feel good in my own skin the most when I'm actually being productive with what I said I was going to do. And at the end of the day, and I go to lay my head down, I'm very proud of the person that, I am becoming, and the person that gets things done. So yeah, take back control of your attention, take back control of your time. I wish you the best. I hope this video helped you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.